right, this is NSM 2024. I'm your host, Nick Smith. We're out in Sonoma County, and I've got the great pleasure of once again sitting with Mr. Ryan McLaughlin from Barco. Dude, where have you been all my life? You were here, then you left, and now you're playing at Barco?
I'm all over the place.
You're everywhere you want to be. Hey, listen, so one, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Excited. This is going to be fun. So you're Barco. Barco, for all my days, has been known as sort of the company that has got the premier image quality, the premier source, but also the most expensive. Mm-hmm. That's changed, has it not?
It has.
Why? What's different? You still have the great image quality, the great, like the phenomenal processing. Mm-hmm.
We do, yeah. We do have those big projectors that are the best, right? We believe they're the best. And they are fantastic and they're phenomenal. They're super high powered and they have their place. But we were noticing that we were missing a mid-market segments projection line. So we came out with our G-Series line that is able to go into a lower lumens, was what I'm looking for.
So when you say lower lumens, talk about a little bit, I don't want this to be the spec show, right? Because you can see all this online, but for somebody who's looking for a competitive projector in like maybe the 3 LCD space, but wants to boot up to DLP, mm-hmm. That's where these G-Series come in.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've got them anywhere from 6,000 lumens to 22,000 lumens on a single chip. And they are going to be our G-Series, which is going to be the cost competitive.
Got it.
When we priced it against a 3 LCD, we are going to be higher. The technologies are different, right? But we actually are very surprisingly competitive on price.
But over LCD, DLP lasts longer.
It does.
I mean, over time, the LCD panels do wear out, have to be replaced. You got to chuck the projector if you don't want to. And then your laser on the engine, which has a longer life cycle to it as well compared to traditional bulb-based LCDs.
Yeah, the degradation of the technology of LCD versus DLP, it happens a lot faster on LCD. So what Barco's stance is going to be because let's face it, it's not a cheap piece of equipment.
No.
So when somebody wants to invest in a expensive equipment that is very high quality and very nice, they want it to last a long time. I was talking with a house of worship end user one day, and he goes, "Well, Ryan, if I'm going to invest this money, how long is this going to last me?" And I asked him, I said, "Well, how many hours a week do you have the projector on?" He goes, "Well, maybe about 10. I said, "All right, so 10 hours a week, they last for 20,000 hours. That'll last you 40 years. He's like, "Okay."
Done.
He mic dropped, he wrote me a check right then and there. So that was fun, right? So it's kind of educating customers yes, they are expensive. They're not, you can't buy them on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
But you get what you pay for in AV. And as long as the customer long-term is happy, that's going to be our goal.
Well, and there's a lot of misnomers on single chip DLP that it's inferior in many ways. And I think most people could, unless you were trained to look for the difference between 3 chip and single, you probably wouldn't know that you were looking at single chip.
Agreed. When I started in this industry, I wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah.
Since I've been doing this for a while, I can tell some differences, especially for the big ones and their, the longer throw stuff. But yeah. Up close, it's pretty close.
So the G-Series, what types of environments are you seeing G fall into? Like, where are you placing these?
Depends on the one we're talking about. House of worship is big for us, for our bigger ones, 22,000 lumens. Higher ed for our G50s. A lot of enterprise level stuff.
So the larger classrooms, the larger conference rooms where you need a little more power.
Right, yeah. You have themed entertainment that does very well with this stuff. And that's, every use case is different, right? In AV, I don't know of any AV industry standards that, hey, this conference room has to be this, or this meeting space has to be this boardroom space has to be that. It's all different. And we have a portfolio that can encompass a lot of those needs.
Now, so let's talk about Barco portfolio right now, because you do have a wide portfolio, mm-hmm. but you're also broken up into different divisions. What does your division sort of handle this space?
So my division is called IX, Immersive Experience, and that's going to be our projectors and our image processing.
Got it. All right, let's talk about image processing for a second, because again, Barco's known for its, its amazing scalers, its amazing image processors. What's happening in the world of processing right now with you guys?
Well, at ISE, this last week, we just launched our Encore 3. And our Encore 3 is the next iteration of the E2. And that is going to be a bigger, it's smaller box, but it's more powerful. And it's much better. You can use your E2 cards and slot them in, and it basically doubles the processing power.
And so this is going to be for those larger entertainment venues where you've got multi-image processing, you need to manage a lot of content, a lot of scaling and image manipulation, so to speak.
Right. I kind of think of it more of as a whole building display management unit.
So something I learned today when we were chatting earlier was, I've always seen Barco as Encore. Like when it comes to image processing, it's the Encore or it's the Folsoms, the sort of the Swiss Army knife products. But you guys have a product called the PDS.
We do.
Talk to me about that, what that is.
Yeah, the PDS is a great little box. It is a single, it's a 1RU, and it's a presentation switcher. PDS stands for pretty darn simple.
I like it.
Right? It's got push buttons on the front.
I like PDS in my life. That's the best way to go through life.
And it's simple. It's got a 6 in and 4 out. It's got different iterations of it. You can get SDI, you can get HDMI, you can get Dante audio through it. And it's just a simple presentation switcher.
So this is really designed for that like small to mid-size or maybe even a little bit slightly larger conference room with a couple displays.
Yes.
Where you need to spread some content around on different screens, but have a very cost-effective appliance to control it all. And of course you get the Barco quality inside of it, I assume.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of them go into MTRs when you put it in 21:9 aspect ratio. And we're seeing a lot of them in front of LED walls.
So for those at home who just heard the word MTR, those are meetings, Teams rooms.
Right.
Yeah, or Microsoft Teams
rooms. Yeah. But the vast majority of them are going in front of LED walls. So when you have it and put it in front of the NovaStar processor, you're going to need scaling. You need processing power if you want to do pixel or picture-in-picture. If you want to do move products around screens and layers and stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's a thing that people miss often with LED because they think about all these little displays. It's not, it's one giant display, and most often they go cheap on the controller, the LED controller, and they just get one that has a single input. And then it's like, well, I've got multiple sources, and or I'm doing Teams, front row, and I need to spread it out. That requires multiple inputs coming into Teams or coming into the video wall, specifically into the NovaStar. So you're basically there to aggregate all that content going into the screen.
Yep, absolutely.
And what's the general price point on this? I mean, MSRP wise.
MSRP is depending on which model you get, it's anywhere between $9,000 to $13,000.
Got it. So you get Barco quality, lots of inputs, lots of outputs, image splitting and merging effectively.
Yep.
Because I think in a lot of the control room or the sort of the conference room processors, it's input to output only. It's right. It might have a matrix, it might have a little bit of scaling, but it never has splitting or merging or kind of full image manipulation.
Yep, you got it.
So you're getting sort of a baby version of an EC2 effectively.
Yeah, because our image processing, it starts with our E2 and now our Encore 3, right? Yep. And then you've got our S3, which is the smaller version, and then our PDS is the smaller version specializing in presentation switching.
It's like a gateway drug to all the beauty that Barco has inside.
That's opening other doors, and we just don't want to go there.
Fair enough. What's next for Barco? What's like, where do you see things going?
Well, in addition to the Encore 3, we just launched 2 new projectors at ISE as well that we're really excited about. The first one is our i600, which is our brand new single chip 4K projector. And that one has got new technology in it, which I can't talk about right now. But it is really cool. And it's very nice. The price point will be very, very aggressive on it. So we're very excited.
So this is going to be something people are going to see at Infocom, or where are we going to see this in real world?
Yes, you can see it at ISE. And talk about it, but they will also have it hopefully shipping by Infocom, which is nice. That's not going to be hopefully at Infocom and then shipping later.
Another showcase of what's yet to come. Yeah.
Right. So we're trying to push it out now, which is good. So we're very excited about that. So for the 4K realm, we had our G50 launched last year. It's been very successful, and we love that one. It's a little guy, and we've got our QDX coming at the end of the year as well. So that's going to be our big dog.
So lots of good company coming from Barco right now. And the G series has been a great performer. I think it's a really cost-effective Barco solution, right? Again, all the image quality of Barco, but at a price point that more people can engage in.
Yep.
And kind of get those in. That's super exciting. Well, listen, thanks for being here.
Yeah,
thank
you.
Always great having you. This has been National Sales Meeting 2024 with Ryan from Barco. If you want to know more about what Barco's doing, obviously hit them up on the web or call us and we'll get you more data. In the meantime, check us out on the next episode. We'll see you soon.